So you know what? You kind of ate in this review. You hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Never. Hey, welcome back to my channel. We have changed locations yet again. If you ever reached the end of my last video, then you will know that this is part 2. And I'm going to be reading 5-star reviews of books that I hated. We're gonna start, I'm going through my Goodreads read, and the first 2 that I noticed, well, we'll do one. One of them is a DNF. It's called My Mechanical Romance. The reason why I DNF'd is because it was too much about mechanics. And I say mechanics, but like techie stuff. And I just wasn't into it. It is YA, and it just felt a little too young to me. I know I say that all the time about some of the YA that I don't like. I guess I'm just used to reading YA books that kind of cater to all demographics, like from 12 plus, instead of like 12 to 15. So much better than what I expected. This was a very wholesome read. I enjoyed it so much. The pace of the book was a bit slow for me. Yes, it was very slow, but it never got boring. It did for me. The author has written it so well. The plot is very investing. Honestly, it took me by surprise. I had thought to myself, it's robotics. How much fun can it get? See, for me, that was my issue. It focused too much on robotics. And I think I got to like the first 50 pages or so. And it's not even a long book. It's like 240 pages or 280. All of these top reviews are NetGalley reviews. Brilliant title, gorgeous cover, and an authentic, inspiring STEM high school romance. This book really won the Amazing Book Bingo. I'm going to skip that first paragraph because that's just talking about the book. This book felt deeply authentic to the teenage experience. The way the characters acted, their thoughts and struggles felt like being thrown back to my teenage self in the best ways. This authenticity, imagine I said the word right, does not, however, make the book feel childish or unrelatable to older audiences. What? That is exactly why I did not like it. It didn't feel like it was for all ages. I mean, YA shouldn't be like it. I guess I'm just so used to it being that way. But this, I do not agree with that one bit. Oh, here's a good one. Girls Like Girls by Hayley Kiyoko. I gave that book a 1. Technically, I gave it a 1.5, but I rounded it down to a 1. Only because I enjoyed that the main character fixed her relationship with her father. That's the only reason why. I did not even like the main character. It's a sapphic romance. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't like the friend group. I didn't like the person, the partner, the one that she falls for. And I think this was based off of her song, Girls Like Girls, which I still haven't even seen the music video. This review says, this book healed my inner gay child. I related to both characters in different ways, and I just wish I'd had this book as a teenager. I'm so glad young queer kids are finally getting books like this that we didn't have growing up. Thank you, Hayley Kiyoko. I love that review, and I love that for you. Obviously, even though I didn't like it, I personally would still recommend it to people because I think just not every book is for everyone. Okay, this is interesting. She's around my age. This book is not being reviewed by a 23-year-old English literature grad. It is being reviewed by 15 to 17-year-old baby gay me. Oh, I get it. She's 23 now, but she's not the one reviewing it. It's 15 to 17-year-old her. Get it? Who decided to come out on my private Instagram with the Girls Like Boys Do and developed a deep love for Coley from the music video. Coley is the FMC. I really need to go watch the music video. Thus, this book is getting 5 stars for demonstrating that I have never had a single original thought. She is the answer every question I've ever had. I can save her. You don't have to kiss boys. Not hating yourself and thus receiving the other person's internalized homophobia does suck. I don't think I'm reading this review right because I'm reading it so fast. Gosh, it was so funny even when it was serious. The lingering, the hyper-awareness, the poison oak requiring lotion application storyline, the train tracks, a la Grey's Anatomy season 12 premiere, the alignment with the music video. So maybe it really did a disservice to me to not watch the music video first. Maybe I should have. And I kept reminding myself too, but I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be that closely related. Child, that's what I'm getting from these reviews. 17-year-old Coley has to move in with her father, who she hasn't seen since she was 3, because her mother has died. She knows she's not like other girls because she's attracted to them when she becomes friends with Sonia, a straight girl, and becomes acquainted with her friends. But something changes one drunken day. This is a coming-of-age story and an awakening, very angst-ridden, but who can say their teen years weren't? I really enjoyed this book, 5 stars. That was a great summary. Not the actual summary part, but that second little paragraph where they say this is a coming-of-age story and an awakening, for sure. Like, I definitely got those vibes. I think for me, it's just, it came off. And you know what? I think the book took place in 2006. And it was giving very much 2000 vibes. And I just didn't really like the characters. But I could definitely see like other people really enjoying the book. Kismet. Oh, I hated this book so much. But I hated that I didn't like it. In my review, I said, I hate that I didn't like this book because I thought for sure I would love it. Ultimately, this book made me feel dumb. I just did not get the ending at all. Yo, I felt so stupid when I got to the end. And the funny thing is, I still remember what happened. I don't understand anyone giving this a 5 star. Like maybe a 4, but a 5? Great read. What I liked about this book is everything. The abusive part was difficult for me, but necessary for the backdrop of the story. Murders, mystery, fantasy, and some unusual friendships make this a roller coaster of a ride. The ending left me thinking every character in this was twisted in some respect. Well written and imaginative. I chose this as a first read selection. Yada yada yada. You lost me at your first sentence. Go ahead. I'm glad that people like. There's no book out there that is just bad. You know what I mean? We can get on the internet and bash a book, and there's still gonna be someone out there who loves it. We may not be able to understand it, you know, depending on what the book was about or whatnot. Anyways, okay. Ooh. Oh, this was such fun. I absolutely adored this book about a Pakistani American woman fighting her strength in Sedona amongst fake healers, gurus, psychics, and a whole lot of fantastical, vengeful ravens. My favorite fiction read in I don't know how long. Child, them ravens confused me so much. I think it was just so confusing about the book. Like, there was just so much going on. And I mean, and then you add in these ravens, like actual ravens, like birds, that were like people, but they weren't people. Like, they were actual birds, but they felt like they were people. Like, I don't know. I didn't even know if, like, the ravens was a metaphor or were they actual birds. Pretty sure they were actual birds. See, all of these reviews are short and simple. Golly. Okay. Trust me, I have some books, my review's long as hell. Not usually, but okay. I have not had this much fun reading a book in a long time. I need to see what you've been reading. I love the characters, plot, setting, and setup so much. It was hilariously twisted, deliciously original, and an absolute riot all the way through. I definitely agree with the deliciously original part. I feel like I still haven't read anything like that. And no one book is like unique, because I'm sure somewhere we could find one kind of similar, but there have been a couple of books that I've read that they do kind of feel unique, you know, in its own way, and this is definitely one of them. Okay, should we do how many more books? I'm just kind of going through all the books I've read. Transcendence by Shay Savage. I DNF'd this book. Yeah, I DNF'd it. I don't think I got patched. It's the part right when the two main characters have sex. And I just couldn't anymore. Okay, let's see these reviews. And I've heard people say like this book was life-changing for them. What do you mean life-changing? I really want to know. And for those of you who don't know, the main character in this book is like Tarzan. Caveman, or whatever. I really like this book. Very different, very fresh. I tore through it and was very impressed by the sweetness and the originality of the story. I've definitely read books like it, and I know for some people, as far as like a caveman romance goes or whatever, this is probably most people's first book. Mine wasn't. Mine was Rowe, I think it's called Rowe, R-O-W-E, by Dylan Page or Page Dylan. That was actually my first caveman romance. I would prefer that over this one, but I don't know. I just felt like I was still missing something. Now, what I will say, well, I don't know, because maybe I'll read someone's review and they might say it. But I did like the way that like the connection that they had. I will give it that. Where to begin with this review? I absolutely adored this book. For starters, I have to say that I think Shea Savage is brilliant. A book like this is not easy to pull off successfully. In my opinion, she didn't, because I DNF'd it. But she did it beautifully. Her ability to write a book from one person's POV. And that's, again, what I just kind of said. I will give her that. Her ability to write a book from one person's POV and without any major dialogue is nothing short of some major talent. I kept thinking about the movie Castaway. Okay, I've never seen that. I don't care. It was also very refreshing to read such a unique love story. To watch two people who are not able to communicate verbally meet and fall in love was an absolute beautiful idea. So you know what? You kind of ate in this review. I wouldn't say she's convincing me to go read it again, like pick it back up, but I will say, like, I think she's kind of convinced me a little bit, like, why people love it so much. You kind of did that. I mean, these reviews are so long. I swear to you, I never see long reviews. Like, I'm literally scrolling and they're all long. What the hell? This is my brightness. This is the most unique story I have ever read. It is seriously a beautiful love story. I was not expecting this book to be so good. The writing and characters were great. It is a timeless love story and only described from the male protagonist's view, but it works for me. Oh, duh. It was only told from his POV. I totally forgot that. Yeah, that part, she did that because he kind of thought, like, obviously the book is written in English, like we can obviously read it, but like he can't speak those words. So what I'm saying now, he would not be able to understand me. Oh, The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was my second book by her. Never again will I read this author. Never. You hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Never. I read The Mother-in-Law? The Monster-in-Law. No, that's the movie with J-Lo. I love that movie, by the way. When they slap each other. Anyways, The Mother-in-Law, I think is the name of the book that I read. It was okay. But then I read The Younger Wife. And I think that was an arc of mine. Yeah, I was like, I put in my review, I should have DNF'd, but I managed to push through. Oh, yeah. I got this book off of NetGalley as an arc. However, at some point, yeah, I read about 60% of that. And I kept seeing people's reviews that the ending was different in the published version, which is why that's the only thing that I don't like about NetGalley, is that you never know, like, what you're reading may not be the final copy. And that book by Beth Reekles, I read in like 2021 or something, the lockdown, shutdown, I don't know. That book apparently changed too. And I don't reread books, so I'm not gonna reread it, period. I ended up switching to the published version. I got it from my library, and I put in my review, I actually preferred the ending in the arc because I went back and read both. To me, Sally Hepworth is not a thriller writer, and I say thriller because that's how she's promoted as, a thriller writer. She's maybe a mystery writer to me, and there's a difference. Don't ask me to tell you what the difference is because I'm gonna sound dumb. I love Sally Hepworth's writing, and to date, my favorite of hers has been The Mother-in-Law. It was okay. It's still my favorite, but this one is a very close second. I was so sure I knew how it was gonna end, but the biggest thing for me was the characters. The book is told from the viewpoints of Heather, Rachel, and Tully, aka Natalie, and I read it very slowly and deliberately because I love them all so much. Okay, yada yada. So the arc seems to have created quite the controversy over the ending, and that was really all I was hesitant about after I finished. Thanks to one person in my buddy read reaching out to Hepworth, I now know exactly what she was trying to convey to the reader, and it put all of my hesitations to rest. Girl, I feel like I'm reading a paper, like an essay. I'm jealous. I'm envious. I couldn't write like that. I have her the finished copy corrects the issue, and hopefully that will make the resolution less polarizing to readers. The younger wife is definitely on the slower side, which would usually bother me, but for some reason it completely worked for me with this storyline. I thrived on getting to know each character individually, yada yada yada. Great review, by the way. I'm not gonna knock her for that. But yeah, it was very slow. That just didn't work for me. And for you to say, promote this book as a thriller, it needs to be fast. I can't read a slow thriller at all. I really enjoyed this book. The writing was concise and clear. The characters were well-rounded. Great plot that had many twists and turns right up until the wild ending. I looked forward to picking up this book every time to read further into the mystery. Families' betrayal, women sticking up for each other in good times and especially bad times. Revenge, justice, dementia, soul work. This book had a taste of everything. And it all worked so well together. Highly recommended, 5 stars. No. Okay, another one. I have enjoyed the other books I've read by Sally Hepworth, and The Younger Wife can be added to that list. In fact, this is my favorite. Great characters surround a wild story. Rachel and Tully have to contend with their mother's dementia and their father's decision to divorce her and marry a much younger woman. They both also have some mind-boggling problems of their own. The story is fast-paced. Sure. So how you got one person saying it's fast-paced and the other one saying it's slow? Somebody lying. And I know it's not the other one because I also said it was slow. Short chapters have... Oh, that's probably why she's saying it was fast-paced to her. She ends it with, short chapters have you rushing forward to find out what happens next. I loved it and absolutely loved the ending. That's why she felt it was short. Because of the short chapters. I think that's it. I don't feel like going through so many others. I'm supposed to keep this video short and sweet. So I think that's it. That's all I'm going to do for this video. I hope it wasn't as negative as yesterday's. I don't think so because I was reading 5 stars this time. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed and I'll see you again tomorrow. Probably not back in this spot. Let's be honest. Okay, I need to do my thumbnail. Ooh.